All right, thank you, Rachel. Following the death of Osama bin Laden, James Whitey Bulger was the #1 fugitive on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. He was captured in 2011 and faced numerous charges of racketeering, murder. During Bulger's decade-long reign as one of Boston's most notorious gangsters, he was sometimes romanticized as a Robin Hood-esque figure of South Boston. But the truth was more complicated and sordid. It's chronicled in the new book, Where the Bodies Were Buried, and I have the fortune of speaking with the author, best-selling author, T.J. English, with us this morning. T.J., thanks for being here.
Good morning, sir.
So there have been other books in the past written about Whitey Bulger. Right. Obviously, he's in, the sort of common, a lot of people talking about him now with the release of Black Mask. What makes this book different?
Well, what I try to do in this book is go beyond Whitey Bulger to the circumstances that created Whitey Bulger and kept him in power as long as he was in power. He was a notorious gangster. He was eventually charged with 19 murders. I mean, this was a really sociopathic guy. But he also happened to be an informant for the FBI, what they call a top echelon informant.
Now, what does that mean, top echelon informant?
That means he's someone fairly high-ranking in the organized crime structure. He's an informant of high regard within the system. And so the Bulger story really is a cautionary tale of what can go wrong in the use of an informant. This guy was enabled by the government, the FBI, and the Department of Justice. He was protected by the FBI and the Department of Justice. He was out there committing murders while he was basically on the payroll of the FBI.
Wow. Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
So, as you said, 19 murders, racketeering. What were some of the other criminal acts that he was engaged in all of those years? You say he was from the 70s, and then in 2011 he was captured.
Right.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he was at one time he was a rival of the mafias. At other times he was an associate of the mafias. He made money from extortion. He made money from illegal gambling, loan sharking, narcotics. A real smorgasbord of racketeering. That's how he made his money. But his real power, and the reason they could never get him, was because he had this unique relationship with the criminal justice system.
Wow. So that's something that I want to talk about, obviously, because there are different things. It goes beyond Whitey Bulger, as you said. FBI, Department of Justice in D.C., the book kind of chronicles some of the corruption that happens there. How does that relate in terms of some of the other things, like the narco wars in Mexico, the war on terror?
Absolutely. Well, the use of informants, this is a tactic of law enforcement in the United States. It has been for a long time. It's how criminal cases are made, the use of informants. And it's a very murky, dark area. By its very nature, it's secretive. Nobody's supposed to know the identities of who the informants are. So I'm not necessarily questioning the use of it, but if you're going to do it, there needs to be supervision and accountability. And the Bulger story is really a cautionary tale, a classic story of what can go wrong, because Bulger was out there killing people and doing crimes, and then when he eventually does get indicted, the government now begins a cover-up process to try to hide the extent of the relationship they had with Bulger.
And did we read some of that in your book? Your book focuses on some of that?
Yeah, the book is really an attempt to address that, and the movie, unfortunately, I don't think really deals with that. It's a very complicated subject. It's difficult to deal with in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
It does have implications far beyond Whitey Bulger.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so TJ, tonight you will be at Bookworks, which is on Rio Grande. What time can people come out and meet you and get a book signed?
Come a little early. Come 6:45. The reading starts at 7, and I'll be signing books afterwards. And I love being here in Albuquerque. Good. So come one, come all.
Good. Have you had a chance to see the balloons yet?
No, I haven't, but I'm going to do that this weekend for the first time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Very excited about it. Well, maybe you'll see TJ out at Balloon Fiesta Park, folks. Anyway, for more information on how you can get out and meet him tonight at Bookworks, head over to casa.com. TJ, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. All right.